But the criteria that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is suggesting, giving and commanding us in this situation is the one who submits to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, performs at a level of excellence.
وقالوا لن يدخل الجنة إلا من كان هودا أو نصارى تلك أمانيهم قل هاتوا برهانكم إن كنتم صادقين بلى من أسلم وجهه لله وهو محسن فله أجره عند ربه ولا خوف عليهم ولا هم يحزنون.
Each ism today is claiming that it's right. So these verses, obviously they are talking about the primary ideas back then. That was the Jews, the Christians, and the Muslims, and so on and so forth. However, today we have various types of isms, this ism and the that ism, and each one of them is investing huge amount of intellectual and financial resources to propagate its ideas, to say that they are right. People are writing books on every topic. Now the question comes is, how do you judge one ism from the other? What do you take as your base guideline? If you're going to say that, look, I'm going to make it based on my own mind, well, first of all, it's really, really hard to be unbiased. Many people who do that, either you're being attracted to an idea because of something that happened to your personal life. And to counter that, you start leaning towards one ism. Or sometimes it is happening because of your friends in that ism or popularity of that ism and so on and so forth. But the criteria that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is suggesting, giving and commanding us in this situation is the one who submits to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, performs at a level of excellence, gives his best, gives her best, doing their best while being present, while being sincere. That person will have no fear and they will have nothing to grieve. So that's something really important to understand, that is my ism going to come with some sort of popularity of the idea or people following it, or am I going to figure out what is the commandment, the guidelines, the value system from my creator and stick to it. The second thing here is the notion of giving so much importance and obsession with physical details of cleanliness, of finding the direction of the Qibla. These things are also very, very important, and we're not saying to ignore that, but sometimes people are so much focused on that they focus on being present in the salah, being present in the remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Or sometimes they would say, you know what, I couldn't figure out the Qibla because I'm flying or what have you, so I'm not going to pray. So these details are really, really important, but they're not as important as to leave the act of worship. It's not as important to fight among each other and to leave the khushu, the presence of the heart and the focus of the heart in presence and in remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And lastly, people who prevent other people from going to places of worship, from going to masajid, from performing the acts of worship, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has promised humility and a severe punishment for such people.